That's great, ladies and gentlemen. Hey Ben, hey Danny, good to see you. Hey Paul, Steve Ryan. Welcome to our Wednesday AI call. Yeah, we do these little sessions because what I really want to give you is AI is everywhere, and what we really want to try to do is to give you like an idea of how you can utilize AI in your business and what are use cases that we're doing. And I try to always give you like some ideas how you can make things better because I mean it's everywhere. We just need to use it right. So and when you haven't been here in the last two sessions, we covered like I think two really important things, right? The first thing is in the first session we had how you create a prompt and use that as output, right? Like how do you really create a prompt that produces stuff that you really want to have. And in the second session, we talked about a market selection workflow and deal underwriting system you can hand off to a VA, right? So what I was thinking about for this session is the gap that you have now when you're generating leads. You have leads coming in, some of them respond, most of them don't, at least not right away. And right now, what happens to those leads is they sit in a spreadsheet, they sit in a CRM, in app notes or whatever. And or they're sitting in like your CRM with like wrong stages and no follow up attached to it and all that because we're always talking about CRMs. But the problem is with CRMs, it's like you really need to use them. Like what I see most of the time happening is that people use CRMs in a way that it's a better spreadsheet. So there's a lead and a phone number, and like what every CRM like does, the name of it is like customer relationship management. So we need to start using it like this, right? Like how do we manage the relationship with the customer? In a CRM, and this is how you need to see that. So the better you know how to use a CRM, the better results you'll have, like getting in touch with clients, right? And like the whole sense I think about CRM systems is that they really give you they do a lot of the heavy lifting and follow up with people that you don't reach. Because when you have them on the phone, that is your job. When you don't have them on the phone, right? And we talk about sometimes hundreds of people in our systems, right? Or thousands of people. I don't know, like I think we have around in my CRM system around like 9,000 leads that we contract every year. Do I do that all manually? No. That's all like a system that's working, right? And out of there, always people come back to us at a certain point of time because we stay in touch with them, right? And today I really want to give you a way how to fix that, how to use AI to fix that. Like one prompt like that really designs a pipeline, the right stages for a land flipping business, like which triggers you need, exit criteria for each stage where it's in, like how do we move a customer in the time of the relationship, right? A lot of our autopilot clients have that already nailed out in their CRM systems. But you can also use AI to make that even better, right? Like you can customize that a little bit if you think you can do other things, right? And then the second prompt I'm going to show you how can you write sequences, follow-up sequences for each of those stages, right? And like when I really look into other CRM systems, and I looked in a bunch of them, especially last year, there is three things that break. The first one is that we don't have clear stages defined. Where's the customer in the relationship? Right? That's like always how we need to think. I was with Ben yesterday on a call, right? Like we're looking through his CRM, and the CRM has all the stages, but like the things were not moved in the right stages because we didn't use it right. Right? So they were stuck in a stage where we don't have that rolling what a CRM does, and that is like following up with people that we don't talk to right now. Does that make sense? So we really need to like everything is stuck in stages where it shouldn't be because not the right automations are triggered, right? Second, like what I see happening by people that, you buy a CRM like Pebble or Stride or whatever, and what you then do is like you have any kind of default templates in there that you use in there, and like, I'm like, through the history on a couple of nurture sequences from other land investors, and then you get like the next text message which says, "Hey, first name, last name. This is contact person from company." Nobody actually took the time to fill in the blanks here, right? So that's what I see happening, right? Like, and Paul is smiling here because I know that happened to him probably too, right? Like, um, but you really want to make a difference with those messages too, right? And the third thing I see happening in all this in CRM systems is that the systems only work when we're manually pushing things, right? The moment you get busy, it stops, like you stop using it. So you can build mechanisms in the CRM systems and all of them to trigger things through automations that work, right? And your CRM is always just as good as the logic inside it, right? And let's talk about the logic today and how you can do that, right? I use Claude a lot, right? You can do this with ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. It's like literally the um 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 to your choice. I use Claude because it works pretty well for me right now. So let me share my screen and walk you through this little thing here. And Musaf can share that in the end with everyone who wants. And if you watch that on your socials, just come to thelandpilot.com and get in touch with us, and we're going to give you your personal copy, right? So before we look at this, let me show you what we're working through today, right? The first problem I brought together for you is the pipeline architect, right? What it gives you is a pipeline table. Like it designs, in this case here, 7 different stages, right? For each one, the name, the triggers that moves a lead from one stage in the other, the exit criteria that moves it out from one stage, the data you need to collect at that stage, and the first action to take the moment a lead lands there, right? It also names like this the one stage most investors skipped and tells you exactly why the stage is costing you deals, right? The second prompt here is gives you the full message sequence for any stage, because when you have somebody, like it's a different type of conversation when you follow up on somebody long term that never reacted to your initial call that you where you try to do a qualification call, but um, like it's a different follow up on those people than those one where you already had an offer in front of them, right? You would agree with me on that. Does that make sense? It's like a different point of conversation where we are at. And you know, every touch you can design it in whatever way you want. And this is just a role model. See it like this, how you can build a CRM with using your AI to build it out for you. And there's today also like agentic AIs that could even execute the job. This is what I do a lot. You use Claude to build it out. This is structure. And then you use stuff like Claude Code or Manus.im or Perplexity Computer to execute it, right? Um, and what do you want to do with like the first prompt is to design the whole thing. The second prompt is that you design it per stage, right? That you have messages for every scenario in your pipeline, right? And they're just really like built to feed each other, right? So let's go here to the first prompt here on the left side, right? Like so we remember from our call 2 weeks ago, there's always like 5 things a good prompt needs to have, right? And the role it has here is you're a CRM system architect who designs lead pipelines for land flipping and wholesaling operations. Right, so it knows now what it is. What shall I do? You can even give it like more context. You can say, you have built 1,000 CRM systems for land investors, and you charged me for this build out $500,000, right? So it's a different level of quality we get now when we have this, right? Like you pay for a guy that built 1,000 of this with significant success out there, and you can even tell it you double and triple industry-wide conversion rates in your pipeline by 500% or whatever it is, right? You can give it more context, but you need to give it a role and then you give it the context. What are you doing? Hey, I do wholesaling land. Like I'm a wholesale company in the state of Florida, and I'm targeting like 1 to 5 acres in this 5 counties, and I like these cities and all that. Give it some context, right? How many deals do we do a month? Hey, we roughly do 5 deals a month, and we have roughly 100 clients, 100 people a month that we reach out to. So give it like some context. Is it just you? Do you have a lead manager working the team? Give him something. What CRM platform are you working with? Is it Pebble? Is it Go High Level? Is it whatever? Because these things know everything about everything. So you need to tell it like, what do I want to know? And then how do you do lead generation? Do you do text, calls, like whatever it is, right? And also, if you have a current pipeline, how is this structured? Like, where are which leads housed in your pipelines, right? And what's your biggest bottleneck right now? Tell it to this too. Like, it can be, I don't get people on the phone that initially inquired. It can be, people ghost me after I made a qualification call. People ghost me then. Like, what's your biggest bottleneck? Give it to this, right? And from there, what you really like, the more detailed you're in this context thing, the better the output will be. Always have in mind, like AI is garbage in, garbage out. High quality stuff in, high quality stuff out, right? And then you give it a task, right? Like design a complete CRM pipeline for this business. For each stage, name it, define the trigger to enter, the exit criteria. So you tell it, what shall it do? Like, hey, I see 10 stages, 15 stages, 6 stages, 7 stages. I never would over exaggerate stages, but you also need to have enough, right? That you have certain things happening, right? And I give it that. That's a task, right? And what you really want to do is like, hey, you want to then to give the constraints and tell it like, hey, listen, we're a land investing business. Like, I don't want to have like generic advice what a marketing company does wants to do, um, and all of that, and like maybe let it line out. What are people? What is the most commonly skipped stage, right? Like all the constraints you can think about, the more you feed in the prompt, the more detailed, the more accurate it is, the better the output will be, right? And then you define what shall it output, right? Um, hey, give me a table format plus one paragraph on the skipped stage. That paragraph is worth the whole prompt, right? Like whatever it is, however you want the output to be is like, okay, define the stages first, define the exit criteria, and give me that as a table that I can take it from there, right? And then you hit enter, and then you work through it until you have a final result, right? And what Claude will always very much highlight here is the most skipped stage in the whole CRM is like a long-term nurture or reactivation stage. This is where people don't really think about. How do I nurture a lead until they die or say fuck you? This is, I think, the two reasons why people drop out of a stage, right? Like they don't want to hear from you anymore. And I don't know if you have ever signed up for like a Grant Cardone or Russell Brunson webinar who has done that. I have done that, and you suddenly get bombarded with messages. So you probably drop out, but it's intentionally because they want to identify that people that really say no. And you know now is when people are dropping out that your messages are going through to people too, right? So why is this reactivation and nurturing probably the most important part to really nail that when you build out any CRM is because a lead that went cold 90 days ago is not the same as a cold list pull, like an initial outreach. They maybe already know who you are. They maybe already have talked to somebody. Maybe they have seen your offer or they like something about you or not. But what when what will for sure happen is that at one point in their life on this list there will be people that have changes in their life and then you need to be there, right? And what that means is that you need to be there then. And when you have a system that you build in this nurturing and reactivation here that like reminds them that you are still there, then you'll have sellers coming back to you and they're already warm. They actively decided to get back to you because you were there when they were ready, right? So, and this is where I see like a lot of investors struggling with because what everyone tries to do is to get new lists together, more outreach, more this, but they never follow up on those people that we already have in the database, right? Like one of the things I brought for our autopilots a new training together, and we have a couple of those here on the call. So one of the most important things you want to do in a CRM is always when you close a card, a deal window, specific person's tab, you want to create a task for yourself or for somebody else what to do next with this lead. Even all the automated nurture in the world is like nothing worse, but like imagine that you get 100 leads this month. You maybe write 3 contracts, but there's 97 people that are there that you nurture. When you would call this 97 people in 4 or 6 months again, call, actively call, have a manual task, calling just everyone to check in with them. Will you reach all of them? No. Will all of them be ready? No. But you probably can find 1 or 2 or 3 other people in this list from 4 months ago that are now ready to sell on your terms. The thing is, people don't do that. But this is how you really create like pipeline value in your pipeline. The more leads you feed, it's easy to say they're all bad. They're not. They're not just not ready right now. But there will be some that will be. This is a numbers game we're playing, right? So um, I think reactivation and like nurturing is the highest ROI stage in any pipeline that you can have. The better you make this, it costs nothing to run the CRM. You pay for that like I don't know, $199 a month, and it does it for you, all of it, right? So you really want to nail that, right? Um, let's go in the second prompt here, right? And what prompt two really does is it takes what you produced when you built your CRM was the first prompt, and now gives it some life. It builds out the automated messages and like all the sequencing out for you if you do it right, right? So, and what you tell it is, hey, you're like you take the output from the first poem, feed it in here, and then you tell, hey, you're a land acquisitions copywriter who builds outreach sequences for motivated rural land sellers. Maybe you say you're the best land acquisitions copywriter in the world, and I pay you $100,000, and you bring me 10x this business big back. So what I want you to do is like, like you're the specialist, and then you give it context again. You give it like, what are the pipelines? What are the triggers to each things? What are the outreach methods? What are the tools in your CRM available? How can we follow up to sellers, right? Is it is it just like um, is it just like emails, or is it just like text, or is it just like whatever? Like like when every CRM, like email and text is standard, but some have ringless voicemails too, or some have this, some have this, if that makes sense, right? So, how many touches do you want to do? Over what period of time? Just tell it all of this. How many days shall be between these touches, right? And when you're not sure, just tell it, hey, make me a proposal how that could look like. I want to build a 12 month nurture pipeline in this specific stage. How often should I touch them? With what methods? What would you propose, right? And then you tell it like with all this information, what you shall do is like build it out for me, right? Build a complete follow-up sequence for this each touch, what to say, when to send, and what response moves the lead to the next stage. Like it can be you send an automated nurture something, and when the customer replies, it needs to send it back to hot offer stage or whatever that is, you name that, right? And then you give it also the constraints, right? Under 3 sentences per touch, no price mentions until the stage permits, whatever it is. You tell it what it shouldn't do, right? Always tell it what it shouldn't do because AI will always do whatever, right? And then you tell it what output. Hey, give me a complete Word document defined per each stage, each message sequence, when it needs to be sent, and whatever. And then you're good. So with these 2 prompts, what you can do is you can build a complete CRM logic, right, that helps you um, to run your business and get more ROI done than you have ever done, right? So I think everyone that doesn't have that built out yet, this is what you want to do this week, right? You want to go back to the drawing board, grab a copy of this, start building out your CRM, and then spend some time to build out the stages to integrate it and do it like one thing at a time, one stage at a time until you've nailed it. And with both these things here together, you get really a CRM playbook that works. With that said, I talked a lot, right? It's short sessions, Mondays and Wednesdays, these little sessions here. So if you have any questions, come back to me. Any question around AI, let me know. And otherwise, we're gonna kick you out early here.
For clarification, Robin, is this for people already using Land AI to
No,
mess
this
with the
is more
CRM?
like a,
Okay.
I think, this is a publicly streamed session that's not in Land Autopilot training. When you're in Land Autopilot, you have nailed this,
Okay, gotcha.
probably. But what you could do is you could give this, you can, for example, use Claude has a browser extension, right? Like you can say, hey, Claude, um, audit my CRM. What do you think is good? What is not good? Like after you have built this, like you build your dream CRM in Claude, and then you can tell it, audit my CRM, how that looks like. And then you can say, okay, what will we need to adjust? And then you let it adjust it. And then you could probably come back to us and say, look, could we maybe adjust this? Right? This is what it is. But we have done this work already for everyone that's on autopilot, right? But for everyone else that is watching, I think that can be super helpful, if that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions around this? Okay, guys. Then I see all the autopilots at 3 p.m. And tomorrow we have like a really great session with David Alt. And by the way, if you don't want to build your CRMs, we can do this for you. And like the our partners we work with, they get that fully built out with best practices. If you're interested in that, just like put a call on our calendar. We drop it here in the chat and we put it here in the socials. Book a call with Jessica. She can help you out. And everyone else, I wish you a great day. And thank you for chiming in and getting this ready to rock and roll here. Bye bye.